What's going on? It's your boy Chris Jack, Canvas Nomad here, back with another one. Um, I kind of want to talk to my people in this one. I want to talk to my people for a second. You know, everybody else you could listen, but this is for my folks, black people, if y'all were wondering. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted with the way that like things go. And this ain't everybody in the community. This is just the general thing, you know. Everybody will say, you know, I'm from the hood, yada yada yada. I know how it is, but why does it have to be like that? Like every person I interact with, you know, it's always some kind of negative, you know, the interaction. Like I have a cousin, right? And he used to say this infamous thing all the time. He was like, with friends like these, who needs enemies, right? And it's interesting because I like now get, like, I get it. You know what I mean? I get what he means. Like, I've always knew what he meant. But, like, I'm starting to see this outside of my circles. I'm starting to see this outside of my areas. And it's like, this is just really on a collective as far as at least New York goes. What am I talking about? Roast culture. Roast culture, envy, jealousy. You got to put somebody down. Needing to feel like you're superior in some way. I'm better than you. I told everybody, I told y'all before, I went to a high school that was 4,000 kids, right? And that was like each class, each high school, each grade had 1,000 kids in it, 4,000 in total. And I'd say in the entire school, maybe 50 of us were black. It was predominantly a white school. The things I see differently from there, and this is not in any way, shape, or form envy, or, you know, I'm just observing something. I noticed the interactions that they have. Don't get me wrong. They have their own. That community has their own issues and social problems as well. But it's never really been about negativity, putting somebody down, doing this. It's more been about flexing, if anything, right? I'm not saying flexing don't happen in the black community, but it's more about, hey, my car is a 2009 2029 Dodge, whatever the case may be, right? I'm not a car person, no judge. And it's more like, oh, it's a V8 22 horsepower, blah 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 blah. That's usually what I hear amongst those circles. Here, damn, look at your shoes. Why you got those shoes on? Look at he got moccasins on. Like, it to me, it just doesn't. I feel like it's not productive. But the funny thing is, my friends personally, they will do the same thing. But you call them, they'll be there. So it's like it's a very confusing dynamic. It's all about roast culture. You hear Kevin Hart say it all the time. When I grew up, you know, you had to defend yourself with jokes or you were just going to be picked on all day. And it's like, why? Yeah, maybe that's what gives our, like, because in terms of stand-up comedy, I'm sorry, I think our community got it. It is what it is. But maybe that's the reason why they have, such bulletproof emotions. We have such bulletproof emotions, or, maybe that's why our jokes just land a little better. I get it. But that only benefits the few while the greater is, really out here struggling. And uplifting people doesn't really hurt anybody. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt to lend a helping hand every now and again. But it's always met with some kind of like reality shaking type of message, and I just don't understand it. I'm at my side gig the other day, and the way these two people greeted each other, and it's funny looking from the outside in, but I'm just really looking at it and realizing y'all got a toxic relationship. Like, y'all got a real toxic friendship, and they not even friends, they're coworkers. Real toxic though. One walks in, and I can't really use the words that they saying because of YouTube, but one walks in, hey idiot, what's going on? Ain't nothing, fool. I'm chilling. And it's just like, and those aren't the words. The words are way more derogatory, but you can get the kind of point that I'm trying to say. I'm just like, and the whole interaction is them bashing each other. No, nothing like, yo, like, what's good with life? Yo, what you doing now? Like, nothing. It's just a bunch of just, I need to have the best joke so I can get the biggest laugh so I can leave on a good note. There's no uplifting. There's no uplifting. There's no uplifting. People would rather find something wrong with you and exploit that and magnify it in front of everybody, so the attention and spotlight is on them for the current moment. For 2 minutes of fame within a small group. Then to say, you know what, you shouldn't do it. Because one thing I always notice is people will always be like, yo, Jack, you different. Why am I different? Because the conversations we have, like, it's just like you don't hear that every day. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm just talking about life, you know. I'm not here to, I really don't like banter. I don't like small talk. Like, I'd rather just not talk, you know what I mean? I'd rather just sit there, smile and laugh. That's it. Oh, ha 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 ha. That's me. Until there's substance coming out, what am I talking for? We just had the same conversation yesterday. You asked me how I was doing yesterday. I said fine. It's gonna be the same as today. But it's always got to be something. One of the dudes that worked there, he lives over here, so we usually travel home together if I don't drive. And he's always trying to one up. He's always trying to find a way why his mentality, his smarts is better than mine, and I really don't give a damn what your smarts is. What do you like what are you doing to benefit the collective? And I'm not saying I'm doing anything to benefit the collective right now, but at the very most, I'm doing a message like this. Even if it's the smallest increment, even if one person gets it, that's my part. But he would rather tear down than uplift, and it's just something that I don't understand. Why we do that? Why let's just, like, life is already hard, and then most of us are from the streets, you know what I mean? Not in the you know, not in the rough aspect of what the street can offer. I'm not talking about that route, but we're from the gut. Like, most of us are still in the bucket, and we have a crabs in a barrel mentality where we just gotta, we see somebody climbing up, we gotta pull them down again. And it's like, come on, like, I don't understand why we do that. Just think about it. We look at every community, at least, again, I'm from New York, I'm looking from that point of view, but I think I think New York is a microcosm of the greater United States, just because of the amount of people that's in this country, in this city. Like, you can kind of look at this and be like, okay, this is what the rest of the United States looks like. Our dialect might be different, our fashion sense might be different, and even certain of our mannerisms might be different, but for the most part, collectively, this is what it is. And you look at our communities. I think Kanye's favorite community, if I say the community, I might get flagged, so I don't want to do it, but I think Kanye's favorite community, they circle money 27 times. I forgot when the study was made, but from what I understand, the study said that they circle money around their community 27 times before it leaves their community, right? The Asian population, I think it was 17 times it'll circulate before it leaves the population. I think the Latin community was like 5 times. Black people, you know how many times money circulates within our community before it leaves? 1 time. 1 time. And it was an interesting study. It was because usually you go to the corner and you buy your ganja, you buy your weed from the weed man. He's usually black. That's keeping the money in the community that 1 time. But what are we mostly doing? We go to the store, we get a paycheck, go to the store, you gotta buy your Prada, you gotta buy your Gucci, you gotta buy your Jordans. Mind you, none of these are owned by black people, so it counts. Yes, Jordan is the face of Jordan, but Phil Knight owns Jordan. Don't get it twisted. Nike owns Jordan. We literally just get our money to give it away, and it don't make sense. Like, you can look at pop culture. Sorry to anybody that's not black out there, I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Talent is just something we're born with. Physique is just something we're born with. Not all of us, but collectively. You look at the Olympics, most athletic people in, let's not count any sports that don't really use cognitive thinking, you know, where it's all physical prowess. It's usually a black person at the front of the line that holds the world record. Track, basketball, anything, rugby, anything that's really physically demanding but that needs athleticism. Usually a black person is the face of that sport. Football is not in the Olympics, but outside of the quarterback, black people dominate the sport. Look at music. Hip hop has been running the 2010s, the 2000s. I'd say even halfway through the 2010s until we started coming out with this pop stuff, and Taylor Swift popped off. The dude that did the devil stuff at the VMAs, the gender fluid guy. I feel like if I say that word, I don't know. I just feel like I can't say a lot of words on YouTube. But he got great songs, you know what I mean? But until that era started really popping off, it was really just Justin Bieber and just hip hop, you know what I mean? I think Drake even brought it to like hip hop pop, you know what I mean? It was just different. Even if you look at movies, 9 times out of 10, you say somebody's favorite actor, you're probably gonna get Denzel in there. Like, I'll tell you, my top 5 is Denzel, Will Smith, Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx to me is one of the most talented people, period. And I'm probably gonna put now either Michael B. or John David Washington, which is Denzel's son, and then Leo. Just talent is just something that we own. But guess what? We own none of it. We don't own music. We don't own music because we signed to a record label right away. So in perpetuity, that music that we created, once we signed to that label, is theirs. Same thing with production companies. Hollywood is not owned by us. None of this stuff is owned by us. So it's like, what are we doing? We would rather put down our fellow brother than uplift. And there's another thing that I started to notice. Now, when people say secret societies, they automatically think like Freemasonry or, organizations that people just don't know about. But secret societies really just start in college. The 3 letters that people wear on their chest. Yeah, that's a secret society. And I started to really pay attention to a lot. Most black people in media today come from a 3-letter background. I was watching a great documentary. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he's one of the best people to do it on the internet. FD Signifier. I love his content. He came out with a video yesterday called "It's Bigger Than Diddy." Go watch it. Great analysis. Great analysis. But in the video, he's talking about something. Oh, no. I'm lying. I am talking about him, but I was watching somebody he usually collabs with. Jamaican dude. And the documentary was on Vibes Cartel. Shout outs to the Gaza. The Gaza King, I guess you call it. Right? He was writing he made a documentary on Vibes Cartel, and FD Signifier was in it. And they were talking about the song Chichi Man. From them man, pare man, chichi man, can. Oh, is the fire, make we burn them. If you don't know that song, I can't help you. But pretty big song in the 90s. Or maybe early 2000s. I feel like it was the 90s though. And he came out, he was like, yo, that's crazy. I didn't know that song was about what it is. That song is a wild song if you find out what it's actually about. But they was talking about it in the video, and he was like, yeah, I remember back in the day we used to stroll to this. And then immediately I was just like, oh my God. It's like every YouTuber I'm noticing when I went overseas, some people that I used to follow in the travel space and I got to meet, I would see the branding. And I'm just like, damn, is anyone not sponsored by a logo, not wearing numbers on their back or letters on their chest, finding some kind of success? This guy Shaq went on TNT and showed his ring and was proud of it while he's drinking some coffee. I'm just like, yo, does any prominent members of society within the black community make it without having some gatekeeping allegiance part of their background? It doesn't make sense. And the funny thing is, these people don't know that that's what they're doing, but that's what it ultimately is. Because a lot of the practices and stuff that they do is coming from Prince Hall. Then when you look at what Prince Hall is, it's Freemasonry and where they getting their stuff from. So it's just like, man, I know this video's going nowhere. It really ain't about nothing. I'm just really observing my people, and I just kind of like I feel like, yo, if you need a closet just for your sneakers, but you walk to work, we got our priorities and we got our priorities messed up. We got our priorities messed up. And I don't understand why this is, I don't know, man. Like, everybody got their issues. Trust me, I am no saint. I have a past that I'm not, I've made my mistakes. I've definitely made my mistakes. I'm trying. We got to do better. We got to do better. And this ain't for everybody, because I know there's a lot of people out there actually, fighting a good fight. But for the people that's just really, content with complacency, like I'm telling, like, somebody said something, and it kind of like prompted me to say, what my, not my future goal, because I really don't believe you should like say everything that you have planned out for yourself. But it was just something that I was interested in, something that I told y'all yesterday that look out for, because in a couple of months that'll tie directly into this YouTube channel. I told him what it is, and I directly work with the guy. So like me leaving, the side gig is gonna have an effect on him, So I wanted to like prepare him, like, yo, just know in a couple months, I'm already working on the paperwork to get out of here. So I'll let him know. And it's almost like he didn't do it, but when I have conversations like that with people, it's almost like it's almost like they want to hope that you can't achieve what you're doing. And it doesn't make sense. And I only notice it within this community. I was listening to a video this morning, which kind of prompted this video. He was like, you can't have success without jealousy, envy, or entitlement. It's impossible. And I haven't had success at all. But the perceived success I have when I travel, one person thought I was a drug dealer. It was like, yo, you definitely dealing drugs, because I don't know how you doing this. Why is that automatically, especially for me, who's never ever indulged in any kind of like quote unquote criminal activity, that was your first thought? I don't know. We got to do better as a people. Anyway, I know this is just rambling. It is what it is. It's your boy Chris Jack. Like, comment, subscribe. Canvas Nomad here. And if you got this far in the video, you my friend. I appreciate it.